Okay, folks. Hey, welcome to GAMcast Live, the biggest story of the day, September 19th, 2022. The biggest story of the day is the left's continued assault on the judiciary, especially as it relates to the Trump raid story. Welcome to GAMcast Live, the great American male, the Florida and Georgia lawyer that breaks down the events of the day through the lens of the Constitution, the law, and history. Folks, a lot of law on this one today, but folks, they continue to attack the judiciary. Over the weekend, Lawrence Tribe, who is a Harvard professor, he writes the constitutional law book that anybody that has a law degree like I do, or you have friends or family going to law, you probably used his book in law school. And he is out there. Elena Kagan, a Supreme Court justice, went out and gave a speech attacking her own Supreme Court. So the left just continues to assault the judiciary. And one of the ways that they're highlighting that right now is the Trump raid story. It's just ridiculous, preposterous stuff. Here's Joyce Alene, one of the typical talking heads on MSNBC, talking about what the Trump judge did. Now, I want you to understand, she's issued a ruling. It's now been appealed. And so the DOJ asked that her order be stayed on appeal. It won't be. But in that just gives them more of a chance to basically go after her. And all they're doing is attacking her personally. And it really has no substance to it. And we'll just debunk it here in a moment. But let's let her tell her side of the story, and easily debunkable to anybody with common sense. Take a listen.
You know, she had an opportunity here, Jonathan. She issued a ruling that was clearly baseless, and she misinterpreted or chose to misinterpret some of the level playing field rules that should have been in existence here. For one thing, she gave the former president far too much credit for his undocumented assertion that some of these records had been declassified. In essence, despite DOJ coming forward with evidence that they were classified, the markings on the documents...
the markings on the documents. They came forward with evidence, the markings on the documents. I mean, that's just idiotic. So let's go back. What is she talking about? What's a level playing field? I want you to understand what has happened here. What has happened is the DOJ came in, they raided Trump, 30 FBI agents armed. They wouldn't show him the warrant. The warrant was overly broad. They took a lot of documents. They had to give some of them back. And then Trump said, hey, filed a motion. I want an independent third party to come look at these. You know, somebody who's independent and make an independent judgment whether you took too much and whether or not I have some privilege here, either executive privilege or attorney-client privilege. Now, a level playing field to this person is, well, the DOJ will police itself. That's not a level playing field at all. And I want you to understand what the other side is. The judge could have quashed the warrant. The judge could have said, hey, that warrant was overly broad, and I'm going to tell the FBI to give everything back. But she didn't do that. She just said, hey, I'm going to appoint an independent third party to come in and take a look at this, right? And then she says she ignored the evidence that they were classified, the markings on the documents. Well, marking on a document, all you need is an IQ of like 95 to understand. That just means that somebody said it was classified at some point, right? We don't know if it was declassified, unclassified. We don't know if it shouldn't have been classified in the first place. None of that. That's what the independent third-party professional is here to come about. But this is all part of a continued and assault on the judiciary. So this, over the weekend, Lawrence Tribe, again, very, very powerful person. He probably taught Joyce Alene. I know he taught and worked with Justice Kagan, right? All these people, they at one point learned from Larry Tribe. So anyway, Larry says, Justice Kagan understands there's a reason for the public repudiation of the Supreme Court, and that's its own conduct. And that he linked there to a puff piece by Jennifer Rubin in the Washington Post over the weekend, or recently, about some remarks she made. And basically, Kagan says the Supreme Court's legitimacy is being undermined because the people I disagree with are using it to do what they want to do. Well, how do we know you're not doing that, Elena? The reason, if it is, the legitimacy of the court is under attack and going down, it's because people are attacking it, like Joyce Alene, like Larry Tribe, and like Elena Kagan herself. Anyway, we try to keep these under 4 minutes. But, folks, that is, believe me, that's one of the biggest stories out there. They're trying to attack the judiciary using Trump as the guys to do it so that they can. The only branch that they don't control. I mean, they control a lot of them, but not all of it. And that's what this is about. Anyway, the biggest story of the day. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, subscribe, share this with a friend. And if you enjoyed this live stream, I hope you tune back in tomorrow. We normally do these about this time. I go live on Twitter at 5:30. As soon as I finish Twitter, I come here.